Welcome to the BoxRope channel. Today we're talking about boxing IQ or fight IQ. What is boxing IQ? What is fight IQ? We're going to get into that. I'm also going to give you a few things you can work on that'll hopefully develop your boxing IQ or your fight IQ as well to help you be the best boxer you can be. So, what is boxing IQ? Basically, if you think of every single style of boxing and understanding how an actual fight plays out and the different styles that are involved, understanding styles and being able to execute different styles, I would say contributes to boxing IQ or fight IQ. And there's no more perfect example than that than I think probably somebody like Andre Ward, for example. And if you think of the fighters or the boxers that are typically known for having a high boxing IQ, it's the fighters that study the game. They're the students of the game. They understand different styles and how to get around different styles, but they can also pull off different styles themselves. So a quick example of something like that would be if you have an example of a fighter that's always going to come forward and a really aggressive pressure style fighter, being able to box off the back foot, change the angles, move around the ring, use your jab and box is one example of a fight IQ, right? But that's not always going to work against everybody, because in the next fight you might have somebody who also likes to stay on the back foot and move around the ring and box. So then you're going to have to become the pressure fighter and figure out how to close the gap, cut the ring down, set up shots, create openings and gaps to land your punches. So being able to adapt your style to what's in front of you is basically what I would consider fight IQ. If we think of somebody like Vasily Lomachenko too, huge boxing IQ, because what he tends to do in a fight as well, and we heard people talk about this during fights and commentators and pundits and everything, talking about him downloading data, right? And that's typically what fight IQ is seeing what's in front of you, being able to download it, adapt to it, and then develop the skill or implement the skills necessary to then beat that style, right? So it's not always a case of like, this is my style and this is what's going to work, because you might need to adapt on the fly to whatever opponent's in front of you, or even within a fight itself, you might have to adapt the style depending on what's going on in the fight. So Lomachenko, great example of fight IQ. Someone like Andre Ward, go watch their fights and just see how they kind of adjust and adapt to a specific fighter or the style that's in front of him. Now, what can you do to develop that? When you start boxing, we all have our favorite boxers that we want to try and emulate, right? So we get into the ring, or we do our shadow boxing drills and we do our training and we think, oh, I want to look like Floyd Mayweather, I want to look like, you know, Canelo or whatever, I want to be a pressure fighter, I want to be a counter puncher, whatever it might be. We kind of have an ideal picture of the style we want to do. What I would encourage you to do in order to develop your boxing IQ and actually be more successful in your fights, in your sparring, whatever it is you're trying to do with boxing, I would suggest trying to pick from every single style and be able to pull off every single style. So for example, when you're doing a shadow boxing drill for 3 minutes, right? Round one of that 3-minute rounds of shadow boxing, you could practice round one just setting the feet, working on your inside punches, short inside punches, head movement, blocking, making it an inside fight, just thinking about the counter punches. So if I go here, that lead hook, the counter punch is going to come, I'm going to block and counter here, or I'm going to throw a body shot and I'm going to come up with a head shot. All the different things that you're going to work on, but you're going to work on one round of just staying inside, planting the feet and working inside, right? Then for round two, just do the complete opposite. Move around the ring, get on your toes, picture the pressure opponent coming at you, keep them at range, move around, head movement, quick jabs, and just picking them off and moving, right? Just keeping them at range and boxing at the end of your jab. That would be an example of what you do for round two. And then maybe for round three, you could maybe practice like leaning back into that Philly shell style. If you need a video on the Philly shell style, that's also on this channel, make sure you check that out. But that's something you could practice, like maybe sitting on the ropes and practicing your counter punches out of the Philly shell style. You could practice just constantly coming forward with the high guard, slipping punches and then waiting for those openings, catching and blocking and then countering that way, but still coming forward every time. So there's so many different styles, right? You could practice the amateur boxing 101 for the next round, where you're on your toes, high guard, and just touching and moving and not getting touched. Touch, get out with the feet, come back in. There's so many different styles. So educate yourself on the styles. This channel is great for that, because we've been doing the boxing breakdowns, giving you an overview of all the different boxing styles there are. But take those different styles, go practice them each round in your shadow boxing. And over time, you're going to develop that boxing IQ, because you understand the different styles. When you're presented with that style in sparring or in a fight, you're going to be familiar with it and understand exactly how to get around it and what style to implement to kind of counteract that style and maybe even beat that style. So that's the biggest piece of advice I can give, is learn and arm yourself with the knowledge of the game, and then go and practice it in your shadow boxing, and just try not to be too one-dimensional with your style, your boxing training, your practice, your shadow boxing, your pad work drills, your heavy bag drills. Mix it up, practice different things, inside fighting, outside fighting, amateur style, reactive stuff. So just arm yourself with as much as you can, soak up everything from all the different styles. Your boxing IQ will be higher, and that's hopefully going to give you something you can go and work on from this video. Let me know if this helped you. Leave your comments below on what you think helps with you with develop your boxing IQ if you missed anything on this video, and look out for more videos on this channel covering this kind of stuff. Don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching.